All right, what's going on, guys? Dan Watson, and you guys asked for a few more phone videos, and I've got a brand new flagship device, actually two brand new flagship devices, the vivo X70 Pro and X70 Pro Plus, and these are just loaded with camera features right here. I'm talking about Sony sensors, Zeiss optics on these, and a ton of camera features you just won't find on other smartphones or anything like that. And all to test this out, I actually got a Lamborghini for this set because, you know, anytime I get something new in, I like to do something fun with it. So stay tuned for that one. But if you guys want to see any more side-by-side tests with these, some other phones, maybe something on the iPhone 13 coming up soon, definitely let me know and we'll get things hooked up. So before we dig into all the camera stuff though, let's go over some basic specs and hardware and features for these phones, because after all, they're still phones, or probably better yet, like mini computers, gaming devices, whatever you want to use them for. However, I was pretty impressed with a couple of things here. So first of all, packaging. I normally don't talk about packaging, but this is not how most of my phones usually come packaged. This is absolutely beautiful. Like, you opened it up, the phone was right here. It was absolutely amazing. Also, came with a case, kind of a leather type material, looking material on this one. And then it also came with headphones and a 66 watt charger, which is very rare to have any kind of charger nowadays, so that's really awesome. So plenty of accessories that this thing came with. And then Vivo also sent me these are the TWS2s, some brand new Bluetooth headphones that they came out with. They're super nice, actually. I was really impressed with these. They seal really well in your ears. I went running with them. They didn't fall out at all, so that's really good, unlike some other headphones that I've gotten at home. They don't wireless charge. They charge with USB-C. That's the only thing, but obviously they will charge using the same cable and tech as their phones. Now, what was kind of interesting is that both of these phones, whether you get the vivo Pro Plus or the Pro, it felt really nice. The hardware on these is amazing. This is actually technically the little brother, and look how nice this is. Absolutely beautiful finish on this, and they don't feel like really different devices on this. They really feel both like flagship phones. As a bonus, none of these materials on the back will show fingerprints, so that's really nice. The only place you can actually see fingerprints is maybe in this area right in here. Where you're really going to see the difference is in features that you might not even notice or visually see all that much. So let's get into it. So the Vivo, let's go into the Pro Plus first. So the Pro Plus actually comes 12 gigs high-speed RAM on this thing, 256 gigs of storage, 4,500 milliamp hour battery. So that's incredible battery life on this, with 55 watt fast charging on it, IP68 moisture and dust resistance on this thing, dual speakers, Snapdragon 888 Plus. Something that I didn't really notice is there's actually an infrared sensor right here, so you can remote control things like TVs and other infrared remote devices on this. So once I started using that, it's really tough to go back to a phone that doesn't have it, because it's so nice having that right built into the phone. Now, the screen itself is a 6.78 inch AMOLED panel on this, 120 hertz, absolutely beautiful, and it is curved around the edges, so really nice on that one. Wide QHD, plenty of resolution, and the fingerprint reader is actually built right into the display, which is where I like it the most. The only thing I would say is it's a little lower on the phone than I would typically have my thumb when I'm holding it, but yeah, either way, the fingerprint reader is super fast and really, really nice to have right in the display. So we haven't even gotten to the camera yet, and already these are like flagship beating specs all over the place. But on the camera itself, the back camera is actually 4 different cameras, 3 primes, 1 periscope 5x optical zoom camera. So really cool setup. The first camera is going to be a 50 megapixel main camera. It is f/1.57 wide aperture lens on this thing with optical image stabilization. That is a Sony sensor on that. The next up is an ultra wide, which is 48 megapixels, also Sony sensor, f2.2 aperture, and then the portrait lens is a 12 megapixel with another wide f1.6 aperture, and the last one is going to be that 8 megapixel 5x optical periscope zoom camera. So if you really want to be shooting things far away, this is by far the best quality way to do it, especially if you are in good light. So like when I'm shooting my kids' soccer games and that kind of stuff, that's when that 5x optical periscope camera really comes in handy. So the entire imaging system is also co-engineered with Zeiss. You get their T coatings, all glass on it, which is actually rare to find on a smartphone, and much better portrait style modes, which we'll get into a little bit, but some really cool portrait style modes from Zeiss. Now, if you do go for the standard X70 Pro, there are a few small reductions, which you'll notice here and there to keep the cost a little bit lower. I mean, the materials, fit and finish, everything like that is still top notch. It looks amazing on this one. The only thing is, like, for example, you don't get IP68 water resistance anymore. You'll also have ever so slightly smaller, still curved AMOLED display, which is really nice. And it is still 120 Hertz. However, the camera setup, while it still has all 4 cameras, 3 primes, periscope zoom, the sensors are a little bit different, maybe a little bit smaller, and the apertures are not quite as wide. Also, you don't get the wireless charging that you do on the X70 Pro Plus. So again, you're still getting a ton of features. Even the in-display fingerprint reader is still there, so really nice setup on it. But there's still a few things in that Pro Plus, especially those larger sensor and wider aperture cameras, that are definitely a big win for me. So obviously, specs on this are amazing, but what really stands out is when you take it and go shoot with it. So big thank you to Squarespace for actually sponsoring this video, helping creators like me do some awesome shoots with cameras like this. So if you guys need a new website, maybe you just need to up the design of yours, get some cool things like storefronts, calendar features, all kinds of amazing galleries on this, I've got a coupon code and a free trial, so go check out the link below. So obviously, Squarespace makes it crazy easy to build a new site with templates, customizable blocks for adding in new content, and even the ability to search through thousands of images to help you get started. And there are just some insane tools for photographers and videographers, from custom galleries that allow you to password protect them for sharing privately with clients, and the ability to add in e-commerce to be able to sell your products online as well. I was able to upload my camera guide so I could sell them straight through my site in just a matter of minutes. There's also a full scheduling system, so you can actually have your clients sign up directly for their sessions online. So go ahead and check them out, guys. It's completely free to get started. Just use my coupon code LearningCameras when you build something awesome, and you can go live with that site today. So we'll start things out with photos, and yeah, by default, these are 48 and 50 megapixel cameras, which is absolutely insane. So by default, these will actually pixel bin into about a 12 megapixel image. It's also going to help things out in low light. However, you can slide these over into the high resolution mode. That will use every pixel on this and shoot 48 or 50 megapixel images in both the wide and the ultra wide mode. And yes, you can see the difference in quality on that. So if you're anybody who's going to be taking these in post, doing any cropping, printing large, zooming in, anything like that, the high resolution modes are absolutely insane. But leaving it in the default pixel mode is going to be a little bit better in low light, and then going to get you about a 12 megapixel image. Now, if you go into the camera app, there are a ton of different modes in here. So you have your normal portrait, photo, video stuff, that high resolution mode for getting 48 to 50 megapixels on that one. Documents, which is a really cool document scanner on here. And if you go to more, tons of stuff on here. So some really effective night modes, which are really powerful, super low noise on these. So I found it one of the better cameras in low light, but also the ability to shoot Pro. And I am saying that the Pro mode allows you to pick from any of the cameras, which is really insane. A lot of cameras don't do this. Change your ISO, change your shutter speed, white balance, focusing in post, HDR, turning all of that on or off, being able to shoot raw photos. Now, colors all looked amazing to me. Very vibrant. I didn't lose the color and texture from the original car at all. Now, Zeiss does have a more natural color profile, and I thought I'd be using it a little bit more, but honestly, the Vivo standard was fine by me. But if you want something a little bit more natural, you can select those. You can actually fine tune all of your focus settings in post. Also, Also the simulation of your aperture, you can get some really cool wide aperture effects on this, and you can do all of that after you've shot your image right in the camera gallery app. Now, a few things I don't use quite as much but are here. So the camera actually allows you to completely change your bokeh style, which is really cool. Some really creative things on this. Also, there are enough beauty enhancers here to make a plastic surgeon go crazy. I mean, literally the things that you can do are endless with this. The only thing I didn't see was any kind of like beard enhancement. So come on, Vivo, next phone, a little bit of beard enhancement, get a little bit of length going on. I don't know. The only thing I will say is that the images straight out of camera were a little bit over sharpened to me, so definitely something I wish we could tone down a little bit, but obviously something you can change in post. But speaking of post, the gallery app for this is absolutely insane what you can do with it. So obviously there are a ton of different controls for editing your images, and I mean a ton of different controls on here, but I also found the eraser tool, and it did a crazy awesome job at actually removing objects straight from my phone, and all this from the default camera app. I didn't have to download anything else, which is insane. So let's get into video and video specs. So 8K video, 4K 60, and a gimbal. Literally, this has a gimbal mode in the ultra wide camera only, but you can actually see it moving around like crazy when you're operating the camera, which is really insane to watch. Now, video quality straight out of the camera, I'd say is very good. It's certainly not like record producing or anything like that, but one of the better ones that I've used. Also, rolling shutter is not horrible for a camera like this. So I actually shot straight from the driver's seat out of the passenger window, hanging my phone out like this. And honestly, things are pretty stable, but this is where things get really cool. So we have a pro mode for video, and this actually works on all three prime lenses, which is something you don't normally see even on cameras that do have a pro mode built into it. And I'm talking adjustable audio levels, focus peaking, zebras, histograms. I mean, I've got $4,000 cameras that don't have the video assist that this thing does. So really amazing, but best of all, a log mode built into the camera app. And actually, I was kind of surprised by just how much room I had in post to be able to adjust and play with these files, but it made a huge difference being able to grade my footage. And you really have a ton of flexibility in this pro mode, including the ability to change codecs on here, bit rates. My only negative is that the log mode, which I ended up liking so much I wanted to shoot with it all the time, disables 4K 60. So obviously for most of us shooting video, 4K 60 is like a massive thing for most of us being able to use, and you can't do 4K 60 and log, at least not with the default camera app just yet. Now, if you do want to actually get a hold of either of these two phones inside the US, it might be a little tricky as of now. I don't think Vivo has actually announced US availability. So for now, we might have to get a little bit jealous and wait for some import options. But if you are blessed enough to be able to pick one of these up right away, this wasn't a massive upgrade from last year, but those phones were already so amazing that the features that they did improve, especially with the new camera system on the Pro Plus and a lot of other hardware improvements and wireless charging, fast charging, fingerprint readers inside the display, some really cool stuff that really separate this from a lot of other phones on the market right here and really make it one of my best camera phones to date. And also, especially when you start using that manual camera app for both photo and video. So definitely let me know if there's anything specific you want to see on these phones. Hit me up with any questions below. Some really cool stuff coming out real soon. So I hope you guys are doing amazing, and I'll see you soon in a new video.